One of the first few video games I ever played was Little Big Planet, and one of my favorite franchises, and it introduced me to the PlayStation 3 and the role of platforming and creativity. This series is known for being very family friendly, but what about the moments in the games that make you raise an eyebrow as an adult nowadays? Or stuff that was found in early builds of the games that make you say, wait, this was in a kid's game? And today, I'll be talking about the many adult and weird Easter eggs in Little Big Planet. The Savannah stage, one of the other memorable stages of Little Big Planet 1. And no, we won't be talking about the song Tap It Nyang, which was censored in the final release of Little Big Planet for this video. We'll be talking about the level Meek Rat Kingdom. To remind you, this is the level where we go down a little tiny Meek Rat hole, give-em-a-jig you want to call it. Anyways, you encounter this one huge mother Meek Rat that tells you to bring their child, known as Strippy Tail, to them. And anyways, they're located in this place, a club, in a VIP room, surrounded by Meek Rats with bunny ears, and also the Collector in Disguise. Also, they played the song My Passion in this level. Anyways, as an older person, you look back at this level and you kind of wonder how odd this is in a kid's game. Since it's a special club. I don't know what else to say. That's literally what it is. There's bright lights, there's Meek Rats on poles with bunny ears, and how the heck did they get away with this? I need to know! At least in Osmosis Jones, they hit the fact that the Zit had dancers on stage, but we won't be talking about this film for another day. And I thought that was the most bizarre adult joke in Little Big Planet, but just you wait until our next entry. Little Big Planet 2, the one sequel that added a bunch of new stuff and brought us an entirely new storyline. Anyways, one of the stages of the game is known as a Factory of a Better Tomorrow. One of the other memorable stages of that game. Anyways, other than it having a few communist themes in it, let's talk about the Sackbots and how they are introduced in this stage of the game. But most importantly, let's talk about the level Pipe Dream, the one where you gotta escort various Sackbots to certain areas of the level. Anyways, there's this one puzzle where you gotta make the signs of horns in order to get to the next area. But if you pull the levers in order to make a specific hand gesture, aka the middle finger, a denied sign will appear at the same time. Like, what? If you thought this was the only time they had a middle finger joke in the Little Big Planet game, well, in Little Big Planet 3, in the Journey Home DLC, there was a level known as Flight Shift, where you play a swoop and return to the Factory of a Better Tomorrow stage. Anyways, there's a 2 times area where 2 players must do a puzzle in order to get certain items. Anyways, the puzzle requires you to make the signs of horns gesture, like in the second game. And if you do the same thing with the middle finger, not only does the decline sign appear, but Clive also says this.
Nice try. We've got policies against that.
Alright, now let's get to the stuff that was only found in the game's code. And just a second warning, but this is where things get a bit NSFW. Now I'm gonna try to keep it PG-13 when talking about it. Anyways, so far we've seen stuff that were only found in the game, but what about stuff that was only found in early builds? Anyways, in 2020, a PS3 dev kit from 2008 was found, and one of the things that it contained was a prototype of Little Big Planet 1. Other than having some things that didn't make it into the final game, like the Evel Knievel costume or remains of English Seaside. Anyways, one of the things that was found was this. The community refers to it as the Bloody Man object, and according to some magazine known as Little Big Vice, they showed off a level that was made by a man named Will Hudson. And this was one of the only remains of this level. But yet again, the object feels really odd to have in Little Big Planet, a game that is rated E for everyone. Speaking of that, let's talk about the next thing. What if I told you that at one moment of time, Little Big Planet 3 had a SpongeBob SquarePants DLC, and added stuff from the games, including costumes of the characters. Sadly, it's no longer available on the PlayStation Store, but if you're wondering why I'm talking about this, well, other than the Sailor Mouth leak, what if I told you that in this DLC for Little Big Planet 3, there was an NSFW Easter egg in the game files? Anyways, a discovery was found that if you actually were to stretch out the textures for the fuzz on Sandy Cheek's costume, it shows an image of a really old meme character that exists, known as Butt. And now if you're wondering, why doesn't this appear when you look at the model? That's because it only appears on the texture file. Around 2021, a prototype of Little Planet 1 that dates 2009 was found, and it was built to demonstrate a PlayStation Move controller at the Tokyo Game Show of 2009. Anyways, a lot of early Little Planet 1 and Little Planet 2 stuff was found in there. Other than that, 2 things were found in here that were really questionable. How questionable? What about an icon of a topless woman? Yeah, this was found in the build of the game, and this picture, I'm not going to say where it originates from for obvious reasons. Somewhere out there are copies of this. What if I also mentioned that the Confederate flag appears in this early build of the game? And it even appears in an early concept image of Little Planet 1's menu. Now let's talk about another thing that was found in Little Planet. Alright, now let's talk about Little Planet karting, aka Mario Kart. What if the bullets were boxing gloves? Anyways, in the game files, there's a lot of levels that are not available in the game, but most of these are all just test stuff. Anyways, there's a test level referring to as NISTEST 0000259, and this was the one I'll be talking about. Other than having almost nothing, and once you get to the goal, a weird cow skull with teeth and bleeding eyes will appear from the ground. Not only does this make you say, what the fudge? But also it feels like a real-life creepypasta, and not some weird fanfiction. After seeing all this stuff found in early builds of the game and in the final game, it makes you ask, what were these guys on? How did they get away with some of these things? And most importantly, why was all of this in a game that's from many people's childhoods? For frick's sakes, the naked lady and the Confederate flag from earlier appeared in early footage of the game that they showcased. How the hell did they get away with this shit?
Well, looks like I might choose one for breakfast, toast or waffles. It has 2 slots. I'm fine with 1 toast and 1 waffle.
I have a couple things that I want to announce. The first one being that I have a Redbubble shop that sells Milton Mare products. And I've only made a few designs based off of the character. Technically she counts as a mascot of this channel, technically not, I'm not sure. Anyways, if you want to support this channel and also me, click the link in the description and buy some designs. There is a lot of awesome shirts and even stickers you could buy. I do plan to make more designs of Milton Mare, but most importantly, some based off of my YouTube channel. And if you're wondering why not make fan art, well that's because I read and I get sent a cease and desist from either Interplay, Viz Media, Capcom, Sony, etc. The second thing I wanted to announce is that I'm also doing a Q&A if I hit 750 subscribers, and you can ask me any question for the Q&A, and I just thought I mentioned those 2 things. 750 subscribers and I'll do a Q&A.